South Dakota has
we
more
are
ethanol
far
plants.
outproducing them in terms of all energy. We have a comprehensive policy. We're making tremendous progress in this area. And I would ask what credentials you bring to energy development. I mean, you're talking about it. We're doing it.
I have
and
more
in terms of
credentials
energy
than
production,
you.
we are a leader in the nation, and people know it.
Okay, that's going to have to be the last word. I do have one more question. This comes up from AARP of North Dakota, and their question is, current demographic trends indicate North Dakota's population of people 65 and over will increase significantly in the next 10 to 12 years. These trends could impact our state in a number of ways, including health care, long-term care, service delivery, tax revenue, community needs. As governor, what steps will you take to address these issues so North Dakotans are able to live with dignity and independence? And Governor Hoeven, you go first on this one.
Again, as we work to build and grow our economy, it's not just that we're creating more jobs and opportunity, we are, but we're also building a bigger base, and that creates the revenue to fund our priorities, to have a rainy day fund, a good reserve for the future, so we don't have to cut programs in the future, and to provide tax relief. Now, what we're doing as we build this resource base is we're providing more funding for priorities like health care, making sure that we fund long-term care, that we fund home and community-based care, the full continuum of care, so that we can be there for our seniors, for low-income individuals, for single-parent families, for children. And we
our young
in the
people
last
have left.
legislative session, we increased funding for human services by more than $100 million, and we're able to do these things even while providing tax relief because we're building this growing economy. Now, we need to do more. We need to make sure that there's strong funding there for long-term care, but we also need to make sure that we're providing funding for home-based care. And there are a number of programs here that we want to continue to build on. One is the single point of entry, so that seniors can look at all the options in the continuum of care and make the choice that's right for them. We need to do things like increase the personal needs allowance so that they have more discretionary dollars, whether they're at home or in a nursing home, to use for the things that they want to purchase. We also need to look at the formula for the medically needy to make sure that we expand SPED, which is our service payments to elderly and disabled. All these areas are important to build that continuum of care.
You know,
Senator Mathern,
we ought to add all of those things up. You know, the way you do things, you look at the proposals I bring forward, you add them up incorrectly. We ought to add everything up that you have said. My math works, your does not. You didn't even bring up our next generation. We have 15,000.
We've passed 4 budgets and they've all worked.
We have 15,000 children without access to affordable health care. I don't know how you sleep at night. And those
by working to expand coverage for children.
15,000 kids need coverage now. And in terms of the AARP concerns of the future, you know what's happening? People are leaving the state. The elderly in our state will not even have caretakers available. You can have a nursing home out there. You can have a home care service out there. But if you don't have young people to provide that service, it will not be helpful. So we need to develop the economy in the rural areas. We need to make sure those facilities that are there can be used for many more things. And we need to make sure that our next generation is covered so that they will be the workforce and they will be here.
Okay, we're almost to closing statements. 20 seconds, Governor Hoeven, and then 20 seconds, Senator Mathern, on this issue, and they'll move to closing.
We agree that we need to do more to continue to build the small towns and rural areas. We need to do economic development in our large towns, small towns, and rural areas. The key is who's best equipped to do that. I've got a lifetime of experience in economic development and private business that is working to build these areas so that we can provide the resources to our small towns and rural areas. Since 2003, we've gained more than 7,000 people, and in the underage 35 working demographic, we're gaining to 2,000 to 3,000 people a year now because of our aggressive economic development.
He uses 2003 because the facts are, from the beginning of your administration to now, we have lost people. Those are the facts. You can go to the Demographic Center at NDSU. You will find them there. You are using words that are incorrect to imply what is not true.
Okay, we need to get to closing
We have
statements.
gained
We goes very fast.
population
Governor Hoeven, 1 minute closing statement.
There are clear differences between my opponent and myself. My opponent has a history of raising taxes. He's already put forward initiatives to spend the surplus multiple times. He has no background or experience in economic development. On the other hand, we are building this economy. We're making real progress. We're creating more opportunity, thousands of jobs. As we create more careers in North Dakota, we're also growing the base so that we can fund our priorities like education and health care and infrastructure needs. We can build our reserves for the future, and we can provide real tax relief to the people of North Dakota. I'm excited about this state. I'm honored to work for you. I ask for your support and your vote so we can continue to build a brighter future for North Dakota.
Okay, 1 minute close. Senator Mathern.
I thank you, Prairie Public and John, for taking the time to visit about our future. Yes, my opponent and I differ sharply, especially on leadership. He has accumulated $1 billion of tax money, and it's sitting in the bank. That's why local communities have had to raise their property taxes to take care of roads, schools, and the other things that citizens want. Now, in the 11th hour, he's coming up with proposals that he should have been working on 8 years ago. I'm ready to do real tax relief. I'm ready to do real health care reform, and I'm ready to do real renewable energy projects so our rural communities come back to life. I've done in my life what John Hoeven hasn't. I have worked in economic development. I have worked in taxation reduction. I have worked in developing programs that are efficient.
Okay, that's time. 1 minute, that's time. Thank you, gentlemen, both for being here. It goes very fast, I know, but it has been a great debate, and it's a great service for the voters of North Dakota that you've come in and done this. A reminder, Election Day is November 4th. Please get out and vote. And thank you for watching Prairie Public and AERP of North Dakota's continuing coverage of Election 2008. Thanks for tuning in.
Funding for Election 2008 coverage is provided in part by AARP, a nonprofit, nonpartisan member association, 87,000 strong in North Dakota, dedicated to enhancing quality of life for all as we age, and by the members of Prairie Public.